Hi, my name is Sergio Galindo. Today, we're gonna discuss the away organizational culture issues that ended up in the scandal, which is the business case that we are going to discuss. The topic that I want to be aligned is the diagnostic of what happened with the leadership style in that time and provide some potential options for improving and what will be the consequences on the success of the company for these options that we are going to provide. Just as a small background, we can start saying that in that time, due to the company fast-paced growth, there was a lot of pressure from the leadership with the employees to work hard and long extra hours that ended up in compromising quality and safety standards and in such a way that the culture of the company became a problem, uh, ended up in being a culture of fear and distrust among the employees, generating a toxic environment, work environment, reducing the morale on the employees, and bringing some significant reputational damage when this situation goes to public. Because it was the media coverage was negative. There was a public criticism and a damage in the brand image of the company. When we think about what happened, what generate these problems, we identify five different characteristics in the leadership style that was applied by the CEO, Stephen Covey, which was clearly an authoritarian leadership that controlled and limit employee participation and do a lot of micromanagement. She put a lot of pressure on the people working that they had to work long hours, prioritizing the productivity and performance over anything else. This bring a lack of transparency and a culture of fear, contributing to the secrecy and the mistrust within the company. This brought poor communications and blocking collaboration and problem solving due to the micromanagement that the leadership apply to them. Obviously, this ended up in bringing a culture of fear and distrust that didn't provide a healthy work environment. And actually, there was a group of people, reduced group of employees that create this Slack channel. That's because this was the only way that they have to discuss their own personal concerns and matters. Thinking about the recommendation of what we should do is clearly there is a need of change of the leadership style. Doing a little research, we identified that implementing a more transformational leadership based on five different pillars, which the first one is not just having the vision and mission, but making sure that it's deployed to all the levels of the company and that the company understand it clearly and effectively. You have to communicate that vision and mission as you're expressing the vision of the future of the company. You have to express it with encouraging messages to motivate and build confidence among all the employees. Uh, the leadership style should be changed to a more supportive way, and you have to express concern, show concern about what is important with your followers, consider the individual needs, be open, have an open door policy, be approachable, and let your employees know that you are there for them. Uh, the micromanagement that previously was done should be changed to a more intellectual stimulation way of living. You have to make your employees part of the problem solving, not being the problem per se. Transform your organization and embrace them to be a learning company. And finally, the five thing that it's really important is recognize your employees. Personal recognition. Giving your employees personal recognition and acknowledge not just the achievements, not just the result, but also the effort. Align the self-interest and foster a culture of learning and collaboration. It's also important and facilitate a lot if you implement an effective incentive program that encourage the right behavior and keep the employees inspired. And that could be a simple compensation day for the time that they are devoting to the company, or probably a family dinner paid by the company, which in compensation of all the time and all the effort that they spend in the company and not with the family. Additionally, we identify that there's an additional leadership style that could bring some good things to the organization, and is the servant leadership style. Mainly because it's focused on empowering and serving the needs of others, fostering a positive and supportive work culture that will facilitate the transition to this transformational leadership style. There are certain challenges in implementing this leadership style, as you have to balance the conflicting stakeholders' expectations. That is very time consuming and emotionally demanding from your leaders. So you have to take care that you don't burn out also your leaders. Among the best practices that we suggest that you can implement towards demonstrating that you are moving from that hard leadership style to a more servant leadership style, is that you have to be empathetic, be supportive of the employees, understand what is important for them, be collaborative, roll up your sleeves and be the first employee doing the things. But you don't have to forget that you have to keep the idea that you are that visionary leader that is there for leading your people. Align your words with your actions and with the values of the company. When discussing what would be a good idea, and thinking that probably mixing both, a combination of transformational and servant leadership would be a much better idea, we identify a research done by Professor Dieren Duck of Rotterdam School of Management and Erasmus University, that says that a mix of the two leadership styles will generate more commitment to organization among employees, and it will benefit especially three, and will align especially three main areas. The engagement, that says that both leadership styles are not opposite to other, but they complement it. And when you complement these both really good leadership styles, the engagement could improve within your employees. During hard times, the level of commitments of the employees goes down. But we think that the study demonstrate that a good servant and transformational leadership mixed can mitigate the lower degree of connection that employees have and feel within the organization, because they are connecting with the leader to the organization. And finally, the energizing. You have to demonstrate that energy, that you have to implement the triple E, the engagement, improving engagement, enable the people to be successful, and energize them to walk the way, to walk the path. I have a motto that says that what is not measured cannot be improved. And that is why we did a little research on how we can make sure that the actions that we implement are walking us towards improving the culture and the organizational structure. And we identify in this research that there's a tool that is the multi-level leadership questionnaire that assess 6 major dimensions in the company and the culture, that using the people participation, and then you collect information, you process that information, and you can identify areas of opportunity to develop a action plan. But what is more important from this is that you can implement KPIs to make sure that you are aligned or realign with additional strategies, additional actions, and make sure that you are working towards improving the culture in the company. Among the potential positive impacts is the employee engagement that will increase based on increase the job satisfaction and the loyalty, the improvement in the collaboration and innovation, because making your employees part of the solution, then they will be more open to provide some ideas and perspectives, that this is a circle where the trust and transparency are going to be rebuilt among the employees, and improve the communication channels. And obviously all these things are going to bring a benefit to the organization, which is much better reputation, the brand image, And also the public is going to see the organization as a company that evaluates their employees, that promotes diversity, inclusion, and that it's ethic. That is going to help on the attraction and of customers and keeping the good talent on the company. Finally, the conclusions are that the first thing is that you have to redefine the leadership style and make sure that the vision, mission, and values are lived and understood at all levels. That adopting a transformational and servant leadership style can have a significant impact on all and any company's success. But there's also one conclusion that we have here, and this is based on the research that we did of what happened after the changes on leadership that actually happened on a way. And it's that the organizational and cultural change may not impact the company fast enough to revert the damage being done. And that is the research that we did is that there's one publication from Bloomberg that in 2023 that says that Away is exploring strategic options, including the sale of the company. And that is why it's more important that you establish metrics, KPIs that help you to understand if you are working towards maintaining your company that is going to give long life to the organizations. This is the reference sources that we use, and there's only space for telling thanks for your attention.